Welcome to your in-depth horoscope forecast for week commencing the 28th of October. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you've yet to subscribe to this channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. This week begins in glittering fashion. We have a new moon in the sign of Scorpio. Think of the things that you really value, not just at a superficial level, but really deeply. Now this could be a friendship, it could be a romance, it could be a car, it could be a material item. Whatever it is that's important to you, it's going to take on more significance over the next month. But this new moon throws up a little bit of a curve ball, because in opposition is Uranus, the planet of surprises, of change, of revolution, of independence and freedom. Yet both the Sun and Uranus are located in fixed zodiac signs. That means signs which prefer the status quo. And that's interesting, because Scorpio energy is about transformation, but often Scorpio people are happier to stick with what they know, and then change when it happens in rather a major way. So this particular new moon does point towards really being in touch with the things we value, but also being flexible, because some things could be altering. Now, because Scorpio can also be about long-term resources, it can be about insurance, it can be about savings, pensions, property, business, entrepreneurship. With Uranus in opposition, this is asking us to be very open-minded. In fact, the more flexible we can be, the better we can capitalise. And there may be some sudden opportunities to make some real progress. But equally, we could have a situation where someone tries to push us out of a way of being, a habit, a ritual that actually we're more comfortable with. And that pushing can intensify from the middle of this week, when ironically the two rulers of Scorpio go into a right angle. Mars is in the principal sign of Libra, and Pluto is in the very traditional sign of Capricorn. So it's possible that some kind of shift in a relationship, and it could be around finance, it could be about who does or contributes what, it could be about intimacy and sexual relations, but some kind of shift is possible this week. And also from Thursday, Mercury, the planet of communication, puts the brakes on and goes into a retrograde that will last through to the 19th of November. This suggests that some things could be stop and start. Things that we had planned upon may be subject to alterations, not just because of the retrograde, but because of Uranus's impact too. But Venus moves on Saturday into the sign of Sagittarius. Well, Venus is really going to love this transit. It's much freer, it's much more flirty, it's much more about travel, experiencing new people or new places, and just being a little bit more spontaneous in our approach to our relationships. But it's also about truth. So if a truth of a relationship needs to be tackled this week on the back of the tensions that are created by Mars in its square with Pluto, or the need or desire for change, or the restlessness that comes from this new moon, that we crave for something more meaningful in our life, perhaps beyond the things that have sustained us so far, then it does seem that we do need to go with the flow at some levels. Your specific forecast, Taurus, sees a new moon on the first day in your sector of relating, relationships and partnerships. But facing this is Uranus in your sign. What Uranus has been asking you to do increasingly this year is refuse to take second best. So if another person is not tuning into your individual needs quite as well as you really require, it's not just letting that go. It's about having the confidence and courage to assert your right to be an individual, even if you're completely committed to the relationship as a whole. So if you need to go out and do something for yourself, be a bit more free-spirited, the next month is the push for you to do this. It is true that relationship matters in general will need care from midweek, with Mercury starting the retrograde on Thursday, but Mars and Pluto clashing in the last half of this week. I think what they serve up is a possibility that you could be a little bit more impatient if people do, or someone in particular withholds from you, doesn't come to a midpoint between your needs and theirs. That could be particularly frustrating, especially if you're very hard-working, conscientious, and very caring towards the other person. What Pluto is saying to you is, however dutiful you are, you still need to have the space to do what's good for you as an individual. Yet with Venus, your ruler, moving into Sagittarius as the week comes to a close, if you are connecting to someone new and the excitement that Uranus is creating can spark this, it's possible that this can be a very intense but also very sensual connection. Thank you so much for having joined me. If you'd like to understand what year 2020 would hold for you as an individual beyond your zodiac sign, please click on the link beneath this video. You can get the rest of this year free, plus 2020, and get 30% off. But for now, good luck and goodbye.